Hello, how are you? Family of Telemathematics. Welcome to a new video of our channel. So let's get started. To begin with, we will introduce the concept of least common multiple, which is defined as between two or more numbers. It is the lesser natural number, different from zero, common multiple of all of them. Let's see an example. Calculate the least common multiple between the following numbers. Literal A, between 9 and 15. We will begin with one of the known methods, that is, the decomposition in primal factors. To do this, we will use a table to find the prime factors that compose each one. The 9, we can divide it for 3 that is obtained, 3. The 3, we can divide it for 3 that is obtained, 1. Then the 9, we can write it as the power 3 squared, because the 9 has been decomposed in 2 times 3. In a similar way, we proceed for the 15, where we can divide it for 3 that is obtained, 5. And the 5, we can divide it for 5 that is obtained, 1. Then 15, we can write it as the product of 3 times 5. Now, the least common multiple is the result obtained by multiplying all the common and not common factors raised to the greatest power. So we have as a common factor the power of base 3, where the greatest exponent is 3 squared, and the not common factor is 5. Then, solving the multiplication, we obtain 45, which would be the least common multiple between 9 and 15. Literal B, between 24, 16, and 8. Applying the same procedure, we have the table for the 24, where dividing for 2 we obtain 12. The 12 we can divide for 2, we obtain 6. The 6 we can divide for 2, we obtain 3. And the 3 we can divide for 3, we obtain 1. Then the 24 we can write it as the product between of the power 2 raised to the cube, because the 24 has been decomposed in 3 times 2, and the 3. We proceed for the 16, where we can divide it for 2, which is obtained 8. The 8 we can divide it for 2, which is obtained 4. The 4 we can divide it for 2, which is obtained 2. And the 2 we can divide it for 2, which is obtained 1. Then the 16 we can write it as the power 2 raised to the 4th, because the 16 has been decomposed into 4 times 2. And finally, we proceed for the 8, where we can divide it for the 2 that is obtained, 4. The 4 we can divide it for the 2 that is obtained, 2. And the 2 we can divide it for the 2 that is obtained, 1. Then the 8 can be written as the power 2 raised to the cube, because the 8 has been decomposed in 3 times 2. Now, the least common multiple is the result obtained by multiplying all the common and not common factors raised to the greatest power. That is, we have as common factor the power of base 2, where the one with the highest exponent is 2 raised to the 4th, and the not common factor is 3. Then, solving the multiplication, we obtain 48, which would be the least common multiple between 24, 16, and 8. Literal C, between 6 and 8. Unlike determining the least common multiple using the decomposition into its prime factors, the name itself tells us how to do it, making this method easier. First, determine a certain amount of multiples of each one, from 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and so on. And from 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, and so on. Secondly, identify the common elements of each list, which would be the 24 and 48. And third, select from the common elements the smallest one, which would be 24, and this would be the least common multiple between 6 and 8, and literal D between 3 and 4. Using the same procedure we have that some multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, and so on. And of 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and so on. Now, identifying the common elements of each list, we have the 12 and 24 respectively, and selecting from the common elements, the smallest is those 12, and this would be the least common multiple between 3 and 4. Very good. I hope you have understood the topic about the least common multiple, and in case you have any doubts, check the material again or let us know to help you.
If you liked the video, I encourage you to give it a like, to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and to activate notifications so you can see the new topics that we will be releasing, to leave us your comments, and to share it with your friends. Until the next video,